Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be showing my bracelet progression because just recently I passed my 1-year anniversary of making bracelets. I'm sorry for being gone for a little bit. I just had school, that's fun. But I'm back and I hopefully can post more often. I don't know for sure, but I know once I get out of school, I will be able to post very frequently. But if you want to get updates and know what I'm up to, I have an Instagram account, which is bracelets by Rosie_, and just recently we hit 1K, so thank you so much for that. But without further ado, let's get on to the video. So I want to do this video, of course, because 1-year anniversary of making bracelets, but technically it's not. I did start making them in summer of 2019. I just stopped, and I only made the Chinese staircases and candy stripes, and I only made one candy stripe successfully. So here it is. You can see all the colors popping through. I don't know, it's fine for my very first candy stripe, but I definitely probably could have done better. Also, this took me over a week to make. That's how much I struggled. Then these next two bracelets, I'm showing some together because they just kind of go together, are a chevron and a candy stripe. I started making bracelets back up in March 27th, I believe, and these are the bracelets I made. But here's this candy stripe. It's really cute, and here's a chevron. I did have really loose knots, like here. They were so tight, but then I thought loosening them would help the bracelets look better. And they do help, and it looks cute in these, but I don't know. You'll see what I mean in this next bracelet. So after that, I felt comfortable enough, which I should not have, to try an advanced pattern, which Kinsey B made a tutorial, and it literally says advanced in the title. I was like, oh, I'm advanced enough to do that after I made this. And I tried it. It's one of those wave bracelets. It does not look like a wave at all. I'm so sorry for my disgusting fingernails. Yeah, it's bad. Then a few months later, around June, I tried remaking it, and here's how it turned out. I actually did remake it, but I gave one to a friend. I would like to make more of these because I really like them, and the pattern is quite simple and fun. So yeah, as you can see, my knots are really tight here, and here they're just so loose. You can see all of the holes. Then around April 15th or 20th, I don't know, I tried to make my first alpha, and I made this dog pattern. I don't know. It's supposed to be my dogs. I have two Boston Terriers, Bella and Zoe. I'd say this turned out really cute. I didn't use the flat alpha technique or the straight edge technique, and you can see that I didn't use either because the strings pull apart and then it's bumpy. But yeah. Then a few months later, I tried another alpha, and my knots have gotten even tighter. Yes. And I tried this one, and I made it because I was obsessed with Lilo and Stitch at the time, so it reminded me of that. I don't know. It is not really floppy. It's very tight. Then I started to try more complicated normal patterns, which I tried stuff like this. This is, I don't know, a rainbow checker bracelet, but it's so tight and short. I don't know why I made it so short. Who knows? And then this one is the mini diamond cross. Again, it's so tight and so short. I don't know why. Then, after those two, Actually, I made this one around November sometime, but my knots didn't really start to change until this year, and you'll see that. I tried my first few wall hangings. This one, I thought that I needed to space my strings apart because the other person who had made this tied really loose knots and they had their strings spaced apart like this much, but my knots were so tight that Then this one I tried spacing them together more, and then the edges just turned out so wonky. I still kind of struggle with this, the spacing of my bass strings. I don't know why, but I mean, they're cute. They're just, you'll see later on how much I've improved. And then here's one of my, I made this in around September, alpha bracelets. I was really happy with this at the time, but it's like so small. It's like for a child. I don't know. I was gonna add an extra star, but then I didn't, and it's just so short, and I don't know. I tied the knots so tight. And don't take this like, if I'm making fun of my bracelets and you get upset by it, don't be like that, because I don't know, I'm just doing this video to show my improvement, so I'm pointing out every little detail that's wrong with these, but really they're just perfect because they're fine. But I'm just pointing out every detail that I think I've improved with, and then I'm doing that to show you that with time and practice, everything gets better. I don't know, it's difficult to explain, but don't take this like, don't let it upset you. That's all I'm trying to say. Then I started to make keychains because I got D-rings, and there's nothing actually wrong with these keychains at all. They're perfect, but these triangle ends, I'll show you later on how much I've improved with those, but they're just kind of bumpy, and the thing is, I tied my knots so tight, that's why they turned out like this. So, yeah. The next thing is my snowman wall hanging. It would be so much bigger now. It would turn out so much bigger now, but there's really nothing wrong with this. I'm, in this one, again, just comparing my knot tension to my newer ones. It turned out a little bumpy, but not too bad. There's the back. Also, this was my first try with the bow on the top. I am planning on making a wall hanging this month, so hopefully by the end of this month or next month, there will be a tutorial on this loop at the top of the wall hanging. I know people have been wanting that. Like, I keep on getting DMs on Instagram, can you do a tutorial on that? But I'm trying to get it. I just gotta start a wall hanging. And then at the beginning, well, in this year, I started to make way more complicated alpha patterns with a ton more color switches. These ones, my knots were still tight in them, but it just, like, you can tell I've already gotten so much more comfortable with my alphas. Like, I think these look really nice. Also, this was my first attempt at crimp ends, so that's cool. This was actually last month at the very beginning of the month. I made this really cute bunny wall hanging for my mom. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just really, it turned out bumpy and kind of wobbly on the edges, and it's super tight. And again, I'm just using this to show what knot tension can do to your bracelets. Here is a direct example. So in February, I got really obsessed with making flower chains, and I made a bunch more because I have a surprise coming. It is already on my Instagram. People know that there. But I made a bunch of these, and they look fine, these flower chains, but I loosened up my knots, and I changed the technique of the flower that I did, and you can just see how different they are, and like, one flops, the other doesn't. I don't know. I think they both look perfect, and they're both really cute. But let me just say the surprise. I'm going to be opening an Etsy shop. Woo! I actually can't wait. But this will be on there. along with several other colors of flower chains. So yeah, but I just wanted to show that as an example of knot tension. Here is whenever, this I made recently, but here's whenever I really started to loosen up my knots in this butterfly bracelet. I love how this turned out. It's still one of my most favorites. I love it, but see how it's kind of like floppy compared, like this one's way more floppy. When I hold the end of this one, it flops. When I hold the end of this one, it stays straight. Then here we are going to be comparing these two wall hangings, this one and this sun wall hanging that I just recently made. I love it. You can just see, so this one was around 50 by 50 and this was around like 45 by something. So 45 bass strings, 50 bass strings, and just look at how much smaller that one is. So I think if I made it now, it would turn out a lot bigger. I don't know. This one's like really wobbly and stuff, like really floppy. And this one isn't so much like that. I don't know. I love both of these, but I am just comparing the knot tension again. So now I'm going to compare my keychains. So these two keychains, there's nothing wrong with either one of these and there's nothing wrong with this one, but I just want to show the difference in knot tension for these little triangle ends. I also was doing only forward knots and backward knots for these, and this one I tried forward, backward, and backward, forward, and it looks so much better. And I think with the looser knot tension, it turns out better too. But here's another one of those butterfly things. But those are the ends. I think that the looser knots make them look much neater. Then so I was tired of making the super simple patterns for my Etsy, so I decided to try a big bookmark. This will not be on my Etsy, but I love how it turned out. I was inspired by someone on Instagram. I don't know who, but I'm gonna pop up their picture on the screen. But I would do a tutorial on this bookmark loop start, but I asked the original creator and they do not want a tutorial. Their video is in Russian, so it's kind of difficult to understand, but I think if you just really pay attention to what she's doing in the video, you can get it, because that's what I did and I got it. So yeah, and then I used another person's tutorial for the tassel. I'll link that below. I'll link both videos in the description. But I really like how this one turned out. I think it's cute, and just again, my knot tension is loose, and I just wanted to show that, and also first try at a bookmark start. So that's progression. So these are two examples of the double triangle ends that I did in 2020 that I absolutely loved how these turned out, but I just want to show, this is a keychain that I recently made with the double triangle ends, and like, let me compare the two. I just think that this one looks a bit better. Also, this was like 20 strings and this was like 20 strings, and just look at the difference. Yeah. And here's another example of the triangle ends on keychains. But I do think I have improved a lot on these double triangle ends at the start. I do want to do a tutorial on these. They're just very difficult to explain. Like, once you do it, you understand it, but explaining it is just so difficult. So I will link Masha Knott's tutorial in the description, because hers I understood. It just took me a while. But yeah, that is basically my bracelet progression. I could have several more examples, but I don't know. I just don't really want to, I guess. I will not be able to link all these patterns in the description, but majority of these are posted on my Instagram. Some of you might have to scroll down a little ways to find the pattern number, but I think all the pattern numbers are there if you want one. I can try and find it. So yeah, I'm hopefully going to be posting again next week and continuously, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that it was very jabbery. I haven't filmed anything in forever, so I just feel like talking. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!